Well, what a lovely, lovely day. Absolutely glorious weather here as we welcome you to a football match of considerable significance, great consequence in this part of the world. They've been talking about this one for a while and they have rolled up to it in fantastic numbers. You should have seen the roads outside the ground in the hour or two leading up to it. It has been bumper to bumper, the traffic has been extraordinary, but the level of expectation is also very, very high. And these supporters who were queuing round the block for their tickets as soon as we knew the date of the fixture, well, now they can't wait for it to begin. And begin it will any second now. Well, this really is a great venue. It adds so much character to every game it stages. So it's away we go then. He acknowledges that he should have come up with something better there.
Oh, that just required a bit more oomph to reach its target.
He's had a go! There it is!
And how about the timing of the pass and run? They've worked it before and no doubt they'll work it again.
A 1-0 lead established.
And that ought to be the trigger for a really exciting and entertaining game from here on.
And it's got through. And it's hoisted clear. Away from immediate danger. Gets it back. Lobs it in gently. That's surely a foul, free kick. He's gone for it! It's broken loose! Forward it goes. He spotted the run and played him through. Has a hit! Saved only by poor finishing.
All he'll be thinking is, please, ground, swallow me up.
It's got through to him. Chance! He's left his man. That's one way of trying to make things happen. There's a few who could follow that example. And the half-time whistle goes. There we are, off they go for half-time. The breakthrough did indeed come in the first half, but there has only been that one goal. It is very, very tight.
Well, they definitely won't be happy with that half. They seem to lack a bit of desire, especially going forward. It wouldn't surprise me to see a change or two.
And we're off again. So, 45 minutes to turn it round. Who's ball? Who's going to get there? He's got away. Is it in? They've scored! The second half sparked straight into life.
Yeah, looking back at that, that's how you play on the counter. Quick and decisive and ruthless with the finish. I thought it was a stunning, stunning breakaway.
And that has added a whole new complexion to the game.
Look, this is not for the faint-hearted, Peter. This is hard and fast football.
That's lovely. Swept in.
They didn't manage to get nearly enough into the box, and that speaks of little ambition.
Now the ball's come loose and the chase is on. Well, that's a foul. Free kick's been given. It's been taken short. And he just whacks it away. Tries to dink it in. A buccaneering run from the defender. Going through. Can he find a finish now? So, time for changes on both sides, actually. Has a swing at it! He's scored! And they're back in front!
The keeper deserves some sympathy there. He may not have seen that until too late.
So we have a breakthrough.
I think the danger for them now is fatigue. I think when the body tires, the mind soon follows. So concentration is key from here.
Ball's loose, who's getting there? Here it comes. Massive lead! And oh, he's got that completely wrong. be another change here.
Well, his stamina was called into question then, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with his heart and the efforts he put in. He was very willing, though, not quite able.
Oh, he's broken through. He goes for goal. It's in. They have stolen level at the last.
Well, when the game's played like that, it's made to look very simple. You know, I love watching football like this. Easy, effective, 1-2 and bang. Thanks very much.
Checks on the touchline, a change about to occur.
I think you have to admire his willingness to keep plugging away, but the manager has done him a big favour, I think, by taking him off. You know, he was looking very, very leggy.
All square again into the dying minutes. Aimed long and direct. That'll be a throw. Get it forward quickly, and that is it. The referee has seen enough, so nothing between them after all of that, and you can't really argue with the result. Neither manager too unhappy with the outcome, and the fans really well entertained. It's all square in the end. How do you look back on the game then, Jim?
Yeah, this looked the most likely outcome, but we've had a good variety in this game despite it being anticlimactic.
That's it from us. Many thanks go to Jim Beglin, and goodbye from us. Well, good evening to you, and welcome on this most perfect evening for a game of football. Conditions are absolutely splendid, and the folk of this town have come out in their droves for this match. Why wouldn't they? It is an ideal circumstance for what could be an ideal game. Everybody has been attracted to it. It has been the talk of the town, and the buses have been packed, double-decker buses lining up outside. Coaches have carried thousands of away supporters here too, and all of it adds up to make a terrific, a crackling atmosphere. The match, I think, will be quite a spectacle. And this must be amongst the favoured arenas of supporters all over the world. It really does have a very special feel to it. This is the lineup we've been given. How do you read it, Jim?
Reminders of a golden era in English football, I should add, and it continues to hold its place in the modern game. Playing a second striker runs the risk of being outnumbered in midfield, of course, so with the wider pairing and fullbacks, plenty of running has to be part of their play, and of course the right service into the box.
And that gets things running. That was good pressing, forced the error to put an end to it before things could get even more threatening. Goes for goal! There it is!
And as soon as they made that error in midfield, they didn't have time to react before the ball hit the net. Very much a lesson learned.
Premio grab an early lead. Good start. First quarter of an hour gone. It's come loose. Premio have the league's best defensive record. It's a decent ball. Goes for it! It's in! All too easy! They are in danger of disappearing out of sight!
The first touch was absolutely heavenly, and because of it, the finish was a mere formality.
Premio take a 2-goal lead and things should be comfortable from here on in.
The turning of the screw comes to mind, Peter. They've got them where they want them.
Plays it out to the wing. Done very well to intervene. Approaching half-time and still behind. Can they make something happen now? Crosses in a low one and hits one! They are rampant! Hot knife through butter, they have done it again!
An exhibition in how to finish with a minimum of fuss.
He's made it 2, and no doubt he's hungry for more. Premio take a 3-goal lead, and they are... There is the half-time whistle. Well, there's plenty that can be said about the last 45 minutes, but one thing that cannot be said is that it's dull. One-sided, yes, but packed with excitement. So, off we go once more.
Well, I'm sure the managers talk the talk, and now it's time for these players to walk the walk and deliver a rousing response to a rousing team talk.
Going through. He's dealt with that well. No foul, says the referee. Nothing wrong with that tackle, ball won cleanly. Tries to get it forward quickly. He's got away, gets wrestled off the ball. Regardless of the outcome, it is good to see someone running at the defence like that. Must score! Gets good distance on it. So the ball's got out of play and a change is upcoming. And it's got through. Oh, that is lovely footwork. Looking to shoot! Back of the net!
The first touch was absolutely heavenly, and because of it, the finish was a mere formality.
So, just a consolation, or is there a way back from here? Keeper's got good distance on that. Beautifully done. That's been levered clear.
Quality deserted them when they really needed it.
And time is up. Well, that does not help. Interpret the performance as you will, but the key truth is that they lost. So, Jim, how do you reflect on what we've seen?
Well, look, it was very one-sided. Their players didn't turn up for the first half, and then it all went downhill.
That's it for tonight's match, so it just remains for me to thank Jim Begden alongside me and to wish you all a very good evening. Well, welcome everyone to a part of the world where the game of football is so important. There is a healthy tension, great expectation building up here as we head towards kick-off. It's a bit grey overhead, and indeed the forecast is for a drop or two of rain as the day grows older. Notwithstanding that, there is a lovely backdrop here. The ambience is good. There's a smashing noise from both sets of supporters, and the game will be underway very shortly. This one of the great amphitheatres of the game. You are welcome to it, and indeed to one of the grandest fixtures. They appear to be shaping up in a 4-4-2 formation.
Well, what I like about this system, Peter, is the way in which both central midfielders have to work in tandem. If one opts to go forward, the other sits, and when one moves either side to snuff out an attack, the other will hold the central ground. Communication is obviously vital to make it a success, but this team knows what it's doing, and I think we're going to see that reflected.
So off we go then. Not this time.
Oh, that was a cracking ball in because it just took the goalkeeper out of the equation.
Gets it back, and he's going long. He's got options out wide. And that has been clubbed away. Looks to clip it forward. It is a corner. And he just whacks it away.
Well, they would seem to be trying to...
Shapes the shoots! Away from immediate danger. Flings in across. He's got the ball glued to his feet. Dinamo Zagreb have been finding wins hard to come by on the road, none in their last 5. Out for a throw. Drilled in, has a hit! Good try, the outcome could so easily have been different.
A more than decent attempt, Peter.
It's a promising ball, and he's onside. He's had a go! And the referee brings the first half to a close. So both sides have drawn blanks. They have toiled at times, but it's not been a bad game by any means. An engrossing half, but we're still where we started, 0-0. So off we go once more.
Well, that first 45 minutes didn't deliver as we'd hoped. Lots of effort, but a lack of quality with the finishing has left us hoping that someone can step up and produce something a little more magical.
Decent progress down the left. And help's available out wide. Has a swing at it! Oh, he couldn't get hold of it.
Well, that's why we all say indecision is fatal.
Looks to thread it through. Tried to play it through.
Ah, that just required a bit more oomph to reach its target. This defence just doesn't trust itself to play a higher line.
Frightened of people getting in behind.
Yeah, absolutely. It just opens up the opportunity of not only strikers getting behind, but the runners from midfield too.
That looks a foul. Yep, referee's given it. And the referee has shown him a yellow card. Good clearance and very necessary. Throw. The changes then in quick succession. Ball has crossed the line, and it's a throw. Both sides then taking this chance to turn to their benches. He's looked long this time. whistle's gone, that's a foul. Oh, that's a booking, always looked it. And it's hoisted clear.
Look, this can still go either way. It might be flowing one way, but there's still time for some ebb.
Oh, well intercepted, really alert to the danger.
Concentration levels are very good, and so is the commitment. This game could yet yield a winner.
Cuts it out. Forward it goes. Tries to get it forward quickly. There is the final whistle. And stalemate. One, if not for fans, then perhaps for coaches, satisfied by organisation and solidity. Little cutting edge at either end, and it finishes 0-0. So, Jim, how do you reflect on what we've seen?
Yeah, this looked the most likely outcome, but we've had a good variety in this game, despite it being anticlimactic.
I think we're just about out of time, so many thanks to Jim, and a very good afternoon to you. Well, a very warm welcome to you on this most pleasantly clear evening. As you can see, we are getting through the pre-match formalities and processes, the players coming onto the field for the usual fanfare and handshakes and so on. Conditions absolutely perfect. Temperatures are kind enough. It is an absolute picture under the floodlights here, and the match that follows ought to follow suit. It is a venue this which simply adds to the spectacle of the game it stages. One of the most impressive arenas in this part of the world. It is our understanding that they've gone with a 4-5-1.
Well, if you want to secure a clean sheet, Peter, this is a very good way of going about it. It adds discipline and lends a stubbornness to that midfield, which can stifle opposition attempts to play through, and it takes a lot of pressure off your defence, of course, forces longer passes through the aerial route. So, all things considered, that extra layer across midfield is highly, highly effective.
So it's down to business here. Played out to the right. Oh, real chance! Can he finish? They've scored!
And some of the best managers I played for insisted on starting games as you mean to go on. And we've just seen a very important opening goal from an extremely talented individual who looks primed for more. He really does look at it.
And that is about as cool as they come. He picked his spot expertly.
Well, you know, sometimes it pays off not to think too much about things, just put your foot through it, and that was a good example. Great contact, and the keeper had very little chance.
Shakhtar Donetsk have an early lead. Good start. Shakhtar Donetsk are enjoying great form in front of goal right now. 5 games in a row they've scored. Fire and the finish! Boots it to safety. Well, that's where he wants it. He's left his man. And it's got through. Great leap! No mistake! All too easy! They are in danger of disappearing out of sight!
Well, you know, thinking about that, I think they've perfected that on the training ground, because it took them seconds to get the ball from back to front, and they really commit forward in numbers too. It was all very well drilled.
Shakhtar Donetsk get themselves a 2-goal cushion.
Well, at 1-0 this contest was still nicely poised, but now that it's gone to 2, mindsets are affected a lot more. Winning belief one way and that losing feeling the other.
Knocks it away. Stepanenko, chance to shoot, and he just whacks it away. Looks a foul. Yep, referee's given it.
Well, it was deliberate, it was cynical, and you have to understand the frustration of being denied a clear opportunity, but it had to be done.
He's trying the shot. Oh, it's a beauty! A finish right from the top drawer. Hot knife through butter. They have done it again. Oh, that is a bit special. Shakhtar Donetsk take a 3-goal lead and they are romping out of sight. Out to the left it goes. The referee brings the first half to a close. Well, there's plenty that can be said about the last 45 minutes, but one thing that cannot be said is that it's dull. One-sided, yes, but packed with excitement.
Peter, do I really need to say anything, or can I simply refer you to the scoreline?
Shakhtar Donetsk, very much in control here, 3 up and cruising. We're promptly into the second 45 minutes. Has a hit! Sticks it away!
The first touch was absolutely heavenly, and because of it, the finish was a mere formality.
So, just a consolation, or is there a way back from here? Tries lifting it over. Knocks it away. Oh, chance to break. Looking for space out wide. So ball's got out of play, and a change is upcoming. Piatov gets it upfield. He's picked him out. Here it comes. And that should be the keeper's. Cross deflected behind for a corner. And there's going to be a change now with the ball out of play. So we have a double substitution going on. Gets up to head it! Oh, should have put that away.
Well, that's a real shame, because it could have led to a real momentum shift.
It back, ball's loose, and he's after it. Strong challenge, but well within the laws. Has a swing at it. In it goes. Late drama, late goal. This will be one frantic ending.
Looking back at that, that's how you play on the counter. Quick and decisive and ruthless with the finish. I thought it was a stunning, stunning breakaway.
And when the manager called on him, he was only too happy to repay that fate.
That's how you make an impact as a sub. You know, when most are tiring, you can impose a freshness and energy to best effect. What an introduction.
This is threatening to become a really good game. Just a few more moments for them to hang on. Get that clear. Dinks one in, and it's got through. And through to the goalkeeper. And the referee brings it to a close. Shakhtar Donetsk have held on, a knife-edge game, a single-goal margin, but they have won it. How would you summarise what we've seen today then, Jim?
Shakhtar Donetsk showed us why it's so important to seize the initiative. Once in front, they grew in belief and rarely looked at risk.
That's where we have to end it. From me, Peter Drury, and my co-commentator, Jim Beglin, a very good evening to you all. What a lovely, lovely day. Absolutely glorious weather here as we welcome you to a football match of considerable significance. Great consequence in this part of the world. They've been talking about this one for a while and they have rolled up to it in fantastic numbers. You should have seen the roads outside the ground in the hour or two leading up to it. It has been bumper to bumper. The traffic has been extraordinary. But the level of expectation is also very, very high. And these supporters who were queuing around the block for their tickets as soon as we knew the date of the fixture, well, now they can't wait for it to begin. And begin it will any second now. Certainly this is a very, very impressive venue. Quite a sight to behold. It is our understanding that they've gone with a 4-5-1.
Well, this setup, Peter, can be very defensive if that midfield is in place purely to form a protective layer in front of the back four. But it can also be the launchpad to very quick counter-attacks. If you can offer pace and accuracy on the front foot, it can have a devastating effect, actually, at the offensive end of the pitch, too.
And already we're underway here. Goes long. It's got through and has a pop! Goal! He was so alert to the possibilities there. Great stuff.
Oh, look, there's only one player who merits all the praise for that. Not only did he finish it, but his instincts for being where he was are absolutely top-notch.
Deadlock broken, it's 1-0.
Yeah, and they know there's plenty of work left in this one, Peter, before they can actually say that the job is over.
There has been just the early goal here, and it's 1-0. Could be thinking about a shot here. Gets good distance on it. And it's Pascual. Nicely controlled. Pascual. Lovely bit of skill. Last-ditch defending, but that'll do. Chance to break. That's nice. Tries to stroke it through. Knocks it away. And it's been taken straight back. Out wide to the right. Beautifully executed. Has a hit! Forward it goes. And he's onside. Oh, surely! The first half is done. And there we are, off they go for half-time. The breakthrough did indeed come in the first half, but there has only been that one goal. It is very, very tight.
Well, this team has found a real rhythm to their game. The players seem to have clicked well. There's good movement off the ball. The passes are sticking. No one's afraid to have a go.
Leading 1-0 at the break. The action is back on the way.
Well, it's been tight, Peter, but I'm expecting things to open up now and we get some free-flowing football.
Good clearance and very necessary. Hit into the middle. And that's been levered clear. Forward tracking back like that, always appreciated by the crowd.
Well, they say that your front lads should be that first line of stopping the opposition, and I think he's taken it to another level with his desire to get back and help everyone out.
Pasquale. Gets it back. Defender's on the back foot. Battles to win it back. Doesn't get the pass he's looking for.
This defence is wary about opposition pace.
So they're just not getting too tight?
Yeah, they know that if they step up, their keeper could get a whole lot busier.
Boots it to safety. Coaxed through there. And it's got through. Going through. Keeps everyone guessing. That's a decent ball. Cleared without complication. Drilled in low. And he's there to hoof it away.
Keep calm and carry on. That's the job in a nutshell now.
Here it comes. Gorgeous control there. In towards the middle. And that's that. Terrific contest. It really might have tipped either way. The margins were tiny. Just a goal in it. But that was enough.
Yeah, clean sheets and hard grind will help you go places, and they have a resolve that'll envy many.
So before we go, many thanks to Jim Beglin for his input, and from us both, good afternoon. very good evening to you as you join us for tonight's live game. Unfortunately, the weather for it is forecast to be less than ideal. We are expecting intermittent spells of heavy rain, which just might impact on the quality of the football. I don't think it's going to be sufficient to prevent the football from being played, nor indeed has it deterred the many, many fans who are in here and already generating a terrific atmosphere ahead of the game, which kicks off any moment now. Well, this really is a great venue. It adds so much character to every game it stages. It is our understanding that they've gone with a 4-5-1.
Well, if you want to secure a clean sheet, Peter, this is a very good way of going about it. It adds discipline and lends a stubbornness to that midfield, which can stifle opposition attempts to play through, and it takes a lot of pressure off your defence, of course. Forces longer passes through the aerial route. So, all things considered, that extra layer across midfield is highly, highly effective.
So off we go then. Across the field it goes. Get a throw in. Tries to get it forward quickly. He's got options out wide. And he's onside. Promising point-blank header. No, he couldn't get the direction he needed.
No, that was a slick move, and there were several options in the box to pick out.
Throw in. It's got through, and it's gone a long way up and away. Got a throw in. So a third of the match or thereabouts gone, and we still await the first goal. He's got it, and he's got time. So who's he picking out? Aimed long and direct. Tried to play it through.
Was too timid to make it through the defence. It'll be noted and improved upon, I'm sure.
That's sprayed out wide. He's looked long this time. And it's hoisted clear. There really wasn't very much in that. Far away from being a telling final ball.
Quality deserted them when they really needed it.
And now they can launch a counter. Played out to the right. And help's available out wide. Deflected behind for a corner kick. Great leap! Oh, not the best of headers. Goes long. Going through. Gets good distance on it. There is the half-time whistle. So both sides have drawn blanks. They have toiled at times, but it's not been a bad game by any means. Interesting half, just missing goals. So don't be surprised if the second half brings a change to the scoreline at the break. 0-0. The second half gets underway.
Well, that first 45 minutes didn't deliver as we'd hoped. Lots of effort, but a lack of quality with the finishing has left us hoping that someone can step up and produce something a little more magical. Yeah, it looks like a change of approach, and it may just freshen things up.
put in. And that has been clubbed away. Out wide to the right. Chance, shapes the shoots! He goes long. Has it out wide now.
Ah, looking at that, the defence was beaten.
We have got changes here, from both sides in fact. Few chances to talk of, Jim. Defence is, it seems, on top here.
Well, I think it's a fair reflection of what we've seen so far. Neither side has produced that many efforts at goal simply because respective defences have been strong.
They've got it back as soon as they gave it away.
Look, this can still go either way. It might be flowing one way, but there's still time for some ebb.
The shot's on!
Cleared without complication.
Pushes it out wide. Cuts it out. Forward it goes. It's the through ball. Hits one! Oh, it's in! And that's got to be it! That has got to be it!
Well, when the game's played like that, it's made to look very simple. You know, I love watching football like this. Easy, effective, 1-2 and bang. Thanks very much.
So, time for changes on both sides, actually. Change being made here, presumably to tighten their defence.
Look, only time will tell now if this is the right decision, but at least the manager hasn't dawdled. You know, he's reacted quickly, and it needed that.
Deadlock broken, it's 1-0. Referee looks at his watch and blows his whistle. Well, that is not the outcome they were after. A truly disappointing defeat. Any reflections on what you've seen, Jim?
It's a poor result. They offered very little goal threat, and it's the kind of unproductive performance that can drain confidence pretty quickly. At the business end, they just can't close a deal.
Many thanks to Jim, and with that, it is a very good night to you. Well, a very good evening to you on what is pretty close to an ideal evening for football. There is barely a cloud evident. The world and his wife have gone to great lengths to be here for a match of great consequence and massive interest in these parts. Barely a breath of wind, so the football has no excuses for not being at its very best. The teams I know are pumped for this. There are fantastic scenes in the stands. There is a great sense of drama here, a great sense of excitement and expectation. We're in the Veltins Arena here in Gelsenkirchen, Schalke's home, of course, since the turn of the century. Schalke have opted for a 4-5-1 formation, it appears, Jim.
Well, the lone striker has to be prepared to do some of the work himself, but essentially he needs two of the three central midfielders to make runs beyond him and trust that the wide men can service the penalty box and make those link-up runs from out to in. He should get plenty of support with this setup.
So off we go then. Good defending there, they've slammed the door in the faces of the opposition. And the flag has stayed down. Oh, sweet feet. Gets it into the middle. And that's been repelled. Defender's on the back foot. So who's he picking out? Last-ditch defending, but that'll do. Rudy goes looking.
Dynamo Moscow have made it clear what they're trying to do for me, Peter.
What are they trying to do?
Well, I think they're making the pitch as big as possible to work both flanks into better supply routes.
Hefty challenge, but fair enough. It's a brilliant interception. Bergstaller. Now it's Konoplyanka. He's left his man. Up to meet it. Good delivery, but no joy.
Well, plenty of moving targets to pick out in the box. Obviously increases your chances of the ball being met like that by someone.
Over to the left. Caligiuri. Bentaleb. Goal now would certainly liven things up. Konoplyanka. Turns it out wide. Rudy. It's a throw in. Lovely bit of skill there. Caligiuri. Shakes for an overhead. It didn't come off, but we hit half-time, so both sides have drawn blanks. They have toiled at times, but it's not been a bad game by any means. Some first-half thoughts?
Well, they've never really been threatened in the first half. I think it's been a magnificent team effort. The work rate has been superb. Very, very organised.
No goals at this stage, but certainly not devoid of action. It is 0-0 here at half-time. We are already promptly back underway.
Schalke clearly have been the better side for me. Yeah, I know the score doesn't quite reflect it, but if they go about their game in the same manner as the opening 45 minutes, things really should improve.
Rudy. Bentaleb plays it out to the flank. Oh, he's got a crucial block in there. I have to say, that was an exemplary tackle. Stopped him dead in his tracks. He's had a go! Oh, and he's got good distance. Who's chasing? So, time for changes on both sides, actually.
through.
Matija Nastasic boots it to safety. He's made sure that that won't get through. It's Caligiuri. Oh, he's found him in space. Shoots! Gets good distance on it. Dynamo Moscow keeping their men at all. That's a pop! And out to safety.
Schalke are certainly applying enough energy and desire, Peter. They just need a break. Well, what we're witnessing now just goes against the grain. They're not going to get back into the game like this.
It is now or never. Time is against them. Going through. Konoplyanka crosses in a low one. Shapes the shoots. Yes, he's done it! And that might well be that. Pretty simple finish in the end. What do you think, Jim?
And that's what the game is all about. Find space and finish, but we have to credit the passer to pick him out.
We have got changes here from both sides, in fact.
Well, his stamina was called into question then, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with his heart and the effort.
And time is up. Terrific contest. It really might have tipped either way. The margins were tiny, just a goal in it, but that was enough. Schalke leave it late, but in the end, it was great.
Well, I just think that determination and persistence has paid off handsomely to squeeze the win out of a draw. Sometimes it comes down to grit and desire and the stubbornness to keep plugging away. And this has been great staying power.
And all that remains for me is to thank Jim Beglin. That's it from us tonight. A very good evening to one and all. Hello, good afternoon to one and all. Like you, we are very much ready to go here and looking forward to a game that has been the topic for universal conversation in this part of the world for much of the last few days. It's dry at the moment, but the forecasters have warned us of impending rain. There's no certainty about that, but when it does come, it shouldn't affect the dynamics of a match which has so much riding on it. Certainly this is a very, very impressive venue, quite a sight to behold. This is the lineup we've been given. How do you read it, Jim?
Well, what I like about this system, Peter, is the way in which both central midfielders have to work in tandem. If one opts to go forward, the other sits, and when one moves either side to snuff out an attack, the other will hold the central ground. Communication is obviously vital, to make it a success. But this team knows what it's doing, and I think we're going to see that reflected.
So that's got things underway. It's being played forward. Good clearance and very necessary. Did really well to intervene and dispel the growing danger. Over to the left. And he just whacks it away. Aimed long and direct. And now the breakaway. For a moment you felt that was going somewhere, but they'll have to go again. Oh, really good feet from him. Oh, the ball's come loose and the chase is on. Forward it goes. It looked promising, but eventually thwarted without doing any harm.
Cleared without complication.
Anyukov gets it back. Paredes, out wide to the right. He's got options out wide. Has a pop! Goal! Zenit St. Petersburg!
Zenit St. Petersburg are certainly a team that knows how to play their football as stylishly as you'll see. Tiki-taka at its very best, and they back it up with goals.
So we have our breakthrough.
And that ought to be the trigger for a really exciting and entertaining game from here on.
Paredes. Played out to the right. And he heaves it forward. And they've got it back as soon as they gave it away. Oh, that is lovely footwork. Ball has crossed the line, and it's a throw. And he's made certain that won't get through. Paredes. And that'll be the final action of the first half. So there you have it, a close-fought half of football, but one that still had its moments, but ultimately produced just one goal. More than decent game up to now.
It's a dressing room that needs rousing at half-time, because in truth they've not really been at it so far. If the pep talk works, we may see a very different side second half. We need to.
The action has already resumed here.
PES United don't need to press the panic button just yet. They may have to tweak their setup first if they don't grab an early goal in this second half. They can't hold back though.
Ivanovic plays a clever pass. Boots it to safety. Anyukov. Did well to step in there. That was more than necessary. Oh, that's neat. Can he deliver?
But this is exactly the approach they have to take now, Peter.
This isn't the time to talk about risks now, Jim, is it? They just have to hurl everything at it and hope for a break.
Spot on, Peter.
That intervention was very necessary. Played into space out wide. Lovely feet. He's
He's in space and looking for options. Towering header!
He's done well to get his head on that, but couldn't score.
Oh, this was all about good movement in the box, just to allow him to get to it.
We have got changes here, from both sides in fact.
So we have a double substitution going on here.
They're actually not getting too tight, which is interesting.
No.
It's probably cautionary. Don't dive in, try to pinch it or intercept so nobody can get in behind.
Leeds United are definitely not going down without a scrap. Their attitude just can't be faulted.
Plays it out to the wing. He's found his man. Danger averted for now. Tries to get it forward quickly. He's left his man. Stitch defending, but that'll do. Referee looks at his watch and blows his whistle. Well, that is not the outcome they were after. A truly disappointing defeat.
That's a fairly demoralising loss. They hardly threatened, and this was about as insipid as it comes.
Well, thanks for your company, Jim, and a very good day to you. Well, hello and welcome to what amounts to football heaven. It doesn't get a whole lot better than this. The conditions are utopian. The sky is blue and the players are with us for a football match so widely and keenly anticipated. Truly, this is pristine, and the level of expectation and excitement is reflected in the smiling faces of the crowd. They know it means so much, and they also experience between them a great sense of privilege at being able to attend this most special of games. Some fantastic scenes for you to enjoy here at Belo Horizonte, as always is the case for every Cruzeiro game. Cruzeiro have opted for a 4-5-1 formation, it appears, Jim.
Well, this setup, Peter, can be very defensive if that midfield is in place purely to form a protective layer in front of the back four. But it can also be the launch pad to very quick counter-attacks. If you can offer pace and accuracy on the front foot, it can have a devastating effect, actually, at the offensive end of the pitch too.
Well, if you did just miss it, we are up and running already. Still going. Where to next? Puts in a cross. Tries lifting it over. That a foul? Yes, the referee's given it. Cruzeiro have now gone 5 games without defeat here. shoots! It's anyone's ball. Ball has crossed the line, and it's a throw. The match or thereabouts gone, and we still await the first goal. There'll be a throw-in. Gets good distance on it. A real chance to break. Get a throw in. Goals as yet, and the weighted pass boots it to safety. Last-ditch defending, but that'll do. He's got options out wide. And the half-time whistle goes. So neither team has broken through, but certainly not for the want of trying. It's been an interesting game up to now, but still goals. How do you look back on the first 45 minutes?
Well, they've never really been threatened in the first half. I think it's been a magnificent team effort. The work rate has been superb. Very, very organised.
Interesting half, just missing goals, so don't be surprised if the second half brings a change to the scoreline at the break. 0-0. Already up and running for the second half.
Cruzeiro can feel really happy with themselves. The scoreline doesn't back it up, but they've played with urgency and purpose and can't afford to lose patience in this second half. They've got to persevere.
What an adventurous run from a defender. Knocks it away.
Cruzeiro making a fresh attempt to release someone in behind from back to front, and this is something different.
Forward it goes. Turns, shot at goal! And somehow it stayed out. So now we're going to get those changes we have been expecting. Chip through. Very little to report from an attacking perspective. Jim, it's just the goalkeeper to beat. He's on his way. Ball's gone out of play. So, time for changes on both sides, actually.
Yeah, that's top defending and preventing him turning, which can open up many possibilities.
And he's going long. Has gone out. Both sides then taking this chance to turn to their benches. really tiny interchange. And that's been levered clear.
Look, this can still go either way. It might be flowing one way, but there's still time for some ebb.
Plays it out to the wing.
Concentration levels are very good, and so is the commitment. This game could yet yield a winner.
Into stoppage time, very little left on it. More than happy to take the muscular approach. He's gone for it! And that was the final act of the game, a nearly game until the very end. And it finishes 0-0. Well, it looked 0-0 from a fair way out. Little craft or guile or penetration. Defence is largely untroubled. It's goalless. So what do you take away from it all, Jim?
Cruzeiro certainly had some good moments, Peter. There were plenty of encouraging spells that more should have been made of.
Well, thanks for your company, Jim. Well, good evening to you wherever you are in the world. We are just about ready for the action here. Kick-off is imminent. The teams indeed with us very soon, having exchanged their various pleasantries. What I have to tell you is that the weather may not be great for the duration of the evening. The clouds yet to open, but one suspects that they will pretty shortly, and when the rain comes, we are warned to expect plenty of it. So what a stage for the players to take to here ahead of such an important game. It is our understanding that they've gone with a 4-5-1.
Well, it's a formation, Peter, that lends itself to good possession and control in midfield because you've got the numbers there, a higher concentration. Backing that up with enough attacking dynamism is down to managers who want to get at teams. It can be used in cautious terms too, but certainly if you want to advance a little quicker and you have that attitude, then you can be very positive about this too.
So it's down to business here. Swept in. It's gone a long way up and away. Now the counter. Cuts it out. Aimed long and direct. Here comes the corner. Knocks it away. Defending, albeit from an unexpected source.
I think it's great to see that kind of application and desire from a forward who wants to help out his defence. I think, you know, any good team, really, your striker should be the first line of that defence, and he's delivering.
Battles to win it back. Millonarios have a free kick. There could be trouble here. But for now, the referee is keeping his cards in his pocket. a shot! Danger averted for now. And that's been levered clear. Over to the left. Here it is now, surely!
There's a lot of movement up front.
Yeah, I've noticed that those front players are working very hard, dropping deeper.
Yeah, and I just think it keeps the opposition off guard with so much switching of position. Keeping shape is much harder.
It's one! Big relief, it just needed better contact.
Well, he did get himself into a good position, something for him to cling to.
Looks to clip it forward. He's had a goal! A skipper's goal!
Well, it's so hard to keep someone with his enthusiasm and his energy quiet. Second best will never be accepted in the world he lives in, and the timing of his goal won't be lost on him. It's crucial.
Oh, high-quality goal. Lovely first touch, sumptuous second. Dinamo. And the half-time whistle goes. So there you have it, a close-fought half of football, but one that still had its moments, but ultimately produced just one goal. A more than decent game up to now.
Well, that certainly pleased the fans, and the players are definitely happy with that scoreline. The question is now, can they protect it?
Dynamo Kiev leading 1-0 at the break. And the second half gets underway.
Well, it's been tight, Peter, but I'm expecting things to open up now and we get some free-flowing football.
Oh, that's neat. Has a pop! That is wayward. He's pulled play back and has booked him for the original offence. Just brushed off the ball there. Still just a single goal between the sides. He's got options in the box if he gets his head up. Strong challenge, but well within the laws. Tries to get it forward quickly. Yeah, he's pulled him up for that challenge. He knew what was coming. That's a yellow card. Just whacks it away.
Yeah, that's top defending and preventing him turning, which can open up many possibilities.
Hit long and direct, and it's got through. Keeps everyone guessing. And it's hoisted clear. And he's got good distance. Who's chasing?
Dynamo Kiev got their goal at the end of the first half, and the score is 1-0.
Going through. Looking for a decent ball in. Heads it! No mistake! And surely that does it! Perfect time! Decisive strike!
Well, you know, thinking about that, I think they've perfected that on the training ground because it took them seconds to get the ball from back to front, and they really commit forward in numbers too. It was all very well drilled.
So, time for changes on both sides, actually. 2 up and very little time left. Surely this is it. He's in! Lovely bit of skill. Hits it! He has done it! Drama at the death! Is there time for one more twist?
The first touch was absolutely heavenly, and because of it, the finish was a mere formality.
Now. So that's it. It is all over.
Dynamo Kiev
Winners by the odd goal. It really could have gone either way, but a win is a win. How would you summarise what we've seen today then, Jim?
Dynamo Kiev were victorious here, and rightly so. When you're allowed free licence to strut your stuff in wide positions, we could only see one winner. This is a performance that hasn't just got my approval. Listen.
So many thanks to Jim Beglin. That's all we have time for. Good evening to you.